Okay, so here we are, day 2. Day 1, yesterday I was planning on recording, packing my plants, almost kind of like a how-to or how I am moving my plants across country. It didn't work out. I was not prepared to move 1,500 miles with my person, let alone my plants. So I got them in my car and into the U-Haul, and they're nice and tidy, but this is gonna be less of a, this is how I did it. I'll show you guys how I did it, and more of just like a vlog of the trip. I had planned to leave about noon yesterday to make it to my first stop, which is Olathe, Texas. I need more sleep. Olathe, Kansas. So I made it there about 2:30 last night, or 2:30 in the morning today. I had planned to leave about noon and I left around 8:45. So yeah, it's going super smooth. I'll show you guys what the plants look like in the back and how I kind of packed them into my car. And then I'm gonna hit the road. Next stop is Tucumcari, Nevada. So that's about a 9-hour drive today. Here are the plants in the back of my car, and there's so much noise. I'm sorry if you can't hear anything. My friend at the greenhouse in the town I was living, she had offered up these crates, if you can kind of see them here, which were a freaking lifesaver. So they are stackable crates. I have one down here that has low profile plants in it, so I could stack another one on top of it that has some other plants. And then I have another crate over here full of my babies. And then I kind of just stuck like my, my fave. Olivia Newton-John is in here with me. The Thai constellation with the brand new leaf is here. The Thai sunrise. This is the Thailand corner of my car. I got some ZZ Raven in there, and just a lot of the plants that I feel like are a little more sensitive. And in the U-Haul I have my Hoyas and my cacti and the succulents that I had, some of them. Ooh, the Florida Beauty is putting off new growth there. Okay, car's packed and we are ready to hit the road. Patches is my co-pilot. Patches! She actually really rides well in the car. And then back here is Mr. Cuddles. Hi, buddy. So yeah, traveling with pets is a new and a little bit stressful experience. We all stopped at the La Quinta because they accept pets, but lugging all of the pet stuff up the stairs, I'm sure it's what, if you have kids, that's what you deal with on a daily basis. You having fun? All right, we're gonna hit the road, and next up is New Mexico. We are just outside of Liberal, Kansas, which is almost to the Oklahoma border, and we're in Oklahoma for just a little sliver, and then Texas, and we will be in New Mexico at Tucumcari. I'll put it here, but I think today I have about 3.5 hours left of driving till I hit that hotel, which will be nice. Let the kids relax and I can relax and edit some video. Kansas is kind of boring because it's flat, but I grew up in Nebraska, so I understand that it's beautiful in its own way. It's given me time to catch up on podcasts and listen to my audio book. So I've enjoyed the drive. I really do like driving. Cuddy rides very well. Patches rides very well, which I'm very grateful for. Cuddy does, every time he hears a turn signal, kind of freak out, like he knows that something's happening. We're either pulling off the interstate or turning somewhere, and he has to stand up and start whining. So I will remember that whenever I see a car that doesn't use their turn signal and it makes me mad. I'll just assume that there is a dog inside that car that goes crazy when it hears a turn signal. Okay, here we are, day 3, just leaving Tucumcari, I don't know, New Mexico. Yesterday was kind of uneventful. Driving all the way through Kansas and Oklahoma. It was really kind of cool to see how the vegetation changed from, I guess, more plains type vegetation to the more arid as we were traveling through Texas and then hitting New Mexico. So it's been really neat. There's some mesas here in Tucumcari that are kind of cool to see right behind me. I mean, it's kind of blocked by a gas station, but anyway, today is all the way through New Mexico and Arizona, and I think it's going to be a beautiful drive, and I'm super excited about it. All the plants are doing well. I checked on them last night. I stood outside of the U-Haul with a lid to one of my big plastic containers and just fanned them just to get some air movement in the trailer and then the back of my car for a bit. This is our last day on the road, and tonight they should be able to get out of their boxes and breathe. We made it! I have been in sunny Arizona for almost a month now. I am so sorry for the delay in this video. For a long time, I didn't really want to edit it just because I was overcritical of the footage that I took. That's not why I do this. I do this because I enjoy it. I enjoy editing. So I'm putting my anal retentiveness to the side and finishing this video so I can show you guys what I did to pack my plants in my car to drive them across the country. Now, you saw earlier in the video when the car was full of plants that I packed a lot of my plants in crates that I got from a friend. And I can't stress this enough, but these crates literally saved my life as far as packing my plants into my car and also into the U-Haul. I have about 7 of these crates right here. I think 3 of them are 7 inches tall and 4 of them are 9 inches tall. The life-saving part of it was that they were stackable, so I could put my plants in these crates and then stack the other crates on top of them. I don't know if you can contact your local nursery and see if they have any of these. I think she said they ship their bulbs. Their supplier ships their bulbs to them in these crates, and they are non-recyclable. So they just had them in storage. I will also link some comparable items down on Amazon for you to check out. If any of you live in the Phoenix area, you can contact me because I have these crates that I will just keep storing until somebody from Phoenix decides to move somewhere else and they need some crates, and then I can gift them with these pay it forward crates. So how I started packing my plants with the crates is I sorted them all by the type of plant. So peperomia, Hoya, cacti, and succulent. I sorted them all into their own little families, and then I looked at their size. I found the smallest ones that were not taller than 7 inches, and I put them in those small crates, and then I found the other ones that were maybe a little less than 9 inches, maybe a little over, but when you put the crate on top, it wouldn't smash it. So I packed them all into the crates, and then the plants that were obviously taller, I put on the top crate so they could reach out the top. Now these crates also have vents throughout them. There is holes, and I think that was very important, especially driving in the middle of summer through the middle of the country into the desert. The airflow on my plants, especially in my car where I had the air conditioning on all day long, was really good, and in the U-Haul as well. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking it's crazy that I put plants in a U-Haul. It is basically just a square tin metal can being fried by the sun all day long. And I gotta be honest, I was actually really worried to put plants in there too, so that's why I chose my hardier plants, my Hoyas, my succulents, my cacti, the plants that I knew wouldn't suffer too bad. But because we were only driving during the day and that U-Haul was stopped at night, the airflow while we were driving was enough to keep it cool on the inside. And I know this because I put one of my humidity monitors in the U-Haul just so I can monitor, especially on that first day, to know what my plants were dealing with. This humidity monitor, which I do have linked below, does measure the low temperature that it's received as well as the high temperature. When we were driving through the entire day through Texas, New Mexico, I checked it that night and the temperature did get up to like 96 as the high. The temperature was still not hot enough to damage any of the plants. Now, another thing I did with my plants is I removed all of them from their cache pots. I keep the majority of my plants in a plastic nursery pot because I just find it's easier to water the plants that way. But as you can see here, the ZZ Raven is in this decorative pot that we call a cache pot. And the reason we call it that is because it actually has no drainage. So if you planted something in this pot, especially a metal cache pot, with no drainage, you're almost surely going to kill your plant. I removed all of them from these decorative pots to pack them into the crates because obviously these take up more space. We were just very, very slim on real estate. And a little tip there is you should take pictures of all of your plants before you remove them from those decorative pots if you use decorative pots a lot. Reason being is still a month after I moved, I'm still trying to sort out which plants were in which decorative pot. One other thing I did along my travels is every time I stopped for the evening, I would open up the U-Haul, I would open up the trunk of my car, and I would just let some fresh air breeze over the plant. Now the U-Haul has zero airflow inside, so when I opened the door, I just basically took a lid to a big Tupperware plastic container and I just sat outside and fanned my plants for probably 5 minutes just to let the air kind of blow over their leaves and let some transpiration happen. My car was a little different because it was temperature controlled, but I still opened up the back door and let those plants get some fresh air. Since I had a car to transport the plants and a U-Haul to transport the plants, I didn't really put any of them in boxes because the crates I had were enough. The bigger plants that I took, I could just fit in alongside the crates or in special areas in the U-Haul. But putting your plants in boxes is always another option, especially if you don't have all of the room in a car or a U-Haul. Boxes help you stack the plants. I do think that it was helpful for all of my plants to be in these crates where they could have some air and they could breathe and also have some sunlight. Thankfully, Patches was not super interested in climbing to the back to get the plants because she is usually pretty good about leaving them alone, except for that ponytail palm. If you have any questions about moving plants, please feel free to either comment down below or send me an Instagram message and ask me my thoughts and opinions. I am by no way a professional at moving plants. I do know that most moving companies will not move your plants. Some may, but you would have to check with your specific provider if you are planning a move with a moving company. I'm so happy to report that not one casualty on my plants or my animals happened on this trip, and I was very surprised by that. There was a small situation of a newer plant to my care having spider mites, and I didn't know it. So there was a bit of a stressful situation once I got all of my plants unpacked and I was inspecting them and started to see spider mites. So I've been taking care of that. I think we're at the end of that whole journey right now. I'm sure it'll surface again at some point. All right, plant nerds, that is the video for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. And also do not forget to click that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. I know this was a different type of video where I had part vlog, part how-to-ish, but I enjoyed making this video, I enjoyed editing this video, and I really hope you guys enjoy watching this video. As always, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks for watching.